Christmas. I have 10 treats to share with you today, and most of them are very simple, hopefully delicious, definitely crowd pleasing, just because of their presentation. I have some things pre-cooking just to make things rolling along easier. I also have ribs in the oven for dinner, so something to look forward to. Oh no, this doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't fit. Why would it fit? Why would anything in my life be easy? I'm just gonna put it right on top of the tray that I already have in there. It'll be fine. Sugar cookies, brownies, cooking, and actually I just made the brownies just like a box brownie mix because it's not that serious. Take convenience, especially when you're making multiple little treats. I'm gonna take a lick for the chef. Salmonella, there you. Just as delicious as always. There was a little treat in there as well. I'll share that when I get to that recipe. Other than that, the first thing we're gonna put together, I'm debating. I don't know if I have another sheet pan. Let me figure some stuff out. I thought I had it all figured out. Turns out, I haven't met myself. I think I'm just gonna go straight down my list. This is the first one I started saving as an idea for this video. I'll do a whole separate video with like cookies, like a cookie exchange, all of my favorite cookie recipes, and probably a lot of new ones as well. But for these are more like simple little treats to put together. Still don't have a tray, hold on. So the first one doesn't really have a name. Peanut butter Ritz crackers with the Hershey Kiss and sprinkles. Let's call it that. A kiss cracker, I guess is what I'm going to call it. They seemed very easy, and I thought initially that it was just a Ritz cracker. Upon further inspection, she had peanut butter in between two Ritz crackers, and I looked, and it did not seem to be like a peanut butter Ritz, like the mini ones, you know? And I don't think they sell, this just unlocked a memory. I don't think they sell big ones. I also think they were stacked like this for whatever reason. That's just what it looked like. So like flat side down. Saltines really is like top tier for me. Saltines and peanut butter. If you grew up like me, that was a delicacy. That just opened all the floodgates for me. You know, I don't eat this as much as I probably should. I'm gonna stack a few of these together. Pretty self-explanatory, but I just smear and smudge. And I already messed this one up. I didn't do a flat side, but I'll get over it. Smear and smudge. Very technical. In the past, I've made the Ritz crackers and then dip them in chocolate, but I put, oh, I screwed that one up. But I put mint extract in the chocolate, then it tastes like a thin mint. The next part, you take some sprinkles and, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make little mounds like this. The video I watched, she just dumped a bunch of sprinkles on the sheet pan and shook it out and covered the whole sheet pan. She had a smaller one, obviously. And the people in the comments were so pressed about it. They were so stressed, like, oh my gosh, what a waste of sprinkles, da, da, da. This isn't working for me, and as soon as I move, they're just gonna shift everywhere. I'm gonna try to put them like somewhat together. How many sprinkles did she have? Goodness. Okay, just, that's good enough, right? Probably not, but whatever. And then I'm going to place the Hershey Kisses, and they're just gonna like melt in the oven. I assume, I didn't really read any instructions, I'm just going off of vibes. And then when they come out of the oven, you just press the cookie on there, and then I assume you could just save the sprinkles for another treat to make. I just don't even think it's that serious, but you know people on the internet these days. I have a little bit more sprinkles. These are slightly different, but kind of the same. Here and here, is that good enough? I don't know, we're gonna find out. It's gonna be fine. We'll see how it goes, okay? In the oven. I was so careful and they still shifted everywhere. Instagram is a lie. Literally 30 seconds later, and I feel like they're melted enough, and then well, we're about to find out. No, they're not melted enough. No, abort. Literally 1 more minute in there and we'll see if that did the trick. Oh yeah, nice and melty. Just squish it down and then, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna leave it there to cool, or maybe I didn't put enough sprinkles down. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it cool. I don't know. It's supposed to be covered in sprinkles. Is this a fail? I'll just cover it myself. Could be better. Let's try again. Yeah, that one's better. That's cute.
If you like sprinkles, peanut butter, chocolate chips, and definitely sprinkles and maybe a little bit of cracker, you're going to love these. These are right up your alley. What's off-putting for me on this is just like the crunch of all the sprinkles. Not my favorite, but I feel like the peanut butter chocolate Ritz combo is amazing.
I'm gonna move on to the sugar cookie recipe. It is not next on my list, but the sugar cookies are kind of done. This one almost broke me, okay? How do people come out with perfect sugar cookies? I rolled them in a ball, I put them in the fridge, still put them in the oven, and they completely spread apart. I did the whole mug shaking trick, and that really didn't work. It's good enough. And they're still kind of like undercooked on the bottom. Listen, I don't know what the heck is happening. Probably because I put them on top of the brownies. That wasn't a good look. I take full responsibility. It is user error, and I'm just gonna move on with my life. For this one, these are snow globe cookies, and I wanted to make these last year and never got to it. So I have been hoarding the things ever since. I did buy new like sugar decorating things. So we need these. These are from Wilton, or are they Wilton? I don't even know. I think these are Wilton. No, these aren't even. These are from Target. These are from Amazon. I'm sure you can find them everywhere. Michael's, craft stores, what have you. What other craft store is there? Everyone's going out of business. And then I got the ornaments that kind of like snap together. You can undo them. So this is going to be the top. And I got some rosemary to look like a Christmas tree. Double points if it's sugared. I'm gonna show you how to do that eventually, maybe next. And it'll kind of look like it's a snowy Christmas tree, so that would be really cute. But since I'm kind of pressed on time, I'm just gonna slap these puppies together. I got buttercream icing from my local bakery has it, and when I say that, I mean Publix, of course. Publix is the best. So I'm just gonna try to find a tip that kind of makes the icing look like snow. You could just lather it on there. You're gonna cover it up anyway. It's all in the details, right? The problem with all of my tips is that when I wash them, sometimes they go down the drain and get stuck in the garbage disposal, and then they get completely ruined. That one will. I feel like that's okay. All right, all right. Okay, I'm just trying to get everything all set up. This buttercream is like room temperature, which could be a mistake. I didn't want to put it in the fridge because I wanted to be able to spread it easily. We're just gonna see how this goes. Ooh. Oh, too much snow. They just like boop, 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 like that. Little dollops. Perfect. Okay, amazing. Another time-consuming one. Hey, also for the rosemary trees, oh my gosh, impossible. And Paul, I'm gonna put that on last. How do you even cut the rosemary in the shape of a tree? I mean, she made it seem so perfect. There's no way the globe is gonna go over that. You know what I mean? It has to be half of that, like here. Oh wow, that definitely does not look like a Christmas tree at all. Cool, cool, cool. This is working out great. Put that guy there. What else are we gonna do? A snowman? Okay, okay, we got a couple of friends hanging out. Hanging out around the world. And then I couldn't find white sugar sprinkles, so I have some silver here. Silver bowl. Just as good, perfect. No one likes sprinkles anyway, right? It's like, who cares? And then a little topper. Boop, a little snow globe cookie. About presentation, because like, who's gonna eat this? You know what I mean? Cute. We've got those silver bowls. That honestly looks miserable. Okay, compared to what she made, Instagram lies. Make a couple more, maybe it'll get better. Had to get the little tree trimming surface in here. Great.
These were so time consuming and definitely not, like obviously the stuff on top of the cookie is edible, but is it really? Are you gonna, kids would be excited to see these, and they are impressive, but not very practical. So I'm just throwing that out there. They're fun, they're festive, they're funky, but yeah. And they do pack a punch. Like, it's not something you see every day. So definitely cutesy, time consuming for sure. So, you know, meets all those.
unfortunately, Kim's tree cutting service closes at nightfall. So I only made like 5 cookies, but I'll get over it. You get the premise. If you want to make more, cool. This next one is so simple, and I think I made it last year. It was very impressive, and my kids actually ended up loving it. And then this year, all over social media, I've been seeing like sugared cranberries, where you marinate the cranberries in like orange juice and something else. I can't remember what. But like, cranberries aren't porous, so I don't know what they're marinating. Maybe the flavor gets in there. I haven't tried them. But the magic happens when you bake them and then you take them out and then you cover them in powdered sugar. This is a similar premise, but no baking is involved. But you do have to heat up your stovetop. So I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of sugar in here. I think last year I did 1/2 cup, and then come on over. All that matters is that it's equal parts sugar and water. And then bring that up to a bubble. All right, there it is, good enough. A nice little simmer, it doesn't have to be crazy. And this is a simple syrup. This is how you make lemonade, by the way, the best lemonade. That's the base of it. And then I'm going to add the cranberries, and I'm going to add rosemary. You could eat the rosemary. It's very fragrant, very delicious, but it's more of a garnish. And I'm just going to coat everything in the simple syrup and let it sit for, you know, a couple minutes. And this alone just looks so beautiful, doesn't it? Okay, I don't want the cranberries to pop. I feel like I did read some recipes where they let it sit for a while. I'm not gonna do that. They're already popping. I'm gonna use a slotted spoon to take everything out. This makes such a great garnish for charcuterie boards. I'm just gonna spread them out and then let these sit for an hour. I feel like I doubled the recipe this last year, but this should be good enough.
My daughter was so excited about seeing these that I made them. And I feel like I do need to compare and contrast the viral ones that are going around that you bake and it has powdered sugar and you marinate them, you know. So it's slightly different, but somehow similar, still like a sugar-coated cranberry. Pops in your mouth, all the good stuff that you like. And yeah, I just love these, love having them just on a charcuterie board or something to display.
Moving right along, the next recipe I'm going to make is one that I actually pinned, and then while scrolling through, I realized I pinned last year and also never made them. I think these are actually going to be a hit and edible, but also cutesy and festive. So it just checks off all the boxes. It's Sugar Cookie Krispies, and the comments of this one too. It's like, can people just live their lives without all of the negative? Don't eat that! You're gonna get salmonella. You can't eat raw flour. Ah! Calm down. Been eating cookie dough my entire life. Only a few times have I had salmonella. It's totally worth it. If you are really pressed about it, you can bake this. I'm sure, like bake the raw flour out of it. But also this mix has more than flour in it, so whatever. And we're cooking it anyway, so it is warming up, and I feel like that's good enough. So this recipe starts with a stick of butter, and we're gonna come to the stovetop over here. And this is what happens. This is what my butter looks like when my kids are running around. And do your kids love butter as much as mine do? I'm gonna throw the stick in here. Once this is all melted down, I'm going to add 1 bag of marshmallows in here, and then let this melt down as well. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but everyone loves a Rice Krispie treat, okay? Once this is all melted, I have 1/2 cup of the sugar cookie mix. I dump that in and then mix this throughout. Give it like 30 seconds for the flour to cook out, okay? Don't want anyone to have diarrhea. Good enough. I'm gonna take it off the heat and add in 4 to 5 cups of Rice Krispie treats and make sure everything is nice and coated. And then what I like to do is add a couple more cups of the marshmallows and fold those in. It just gives the Rice Krispie treat like an extra layer of ooey gooey deliciousness and makes them extra special. Now, to make it festive, I'm also going to mix in some Christmas sprinkles. I raided my sprinkles basket. Come to find out, I had so many sprinkles to use up. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of those in, and right away it just like makes it that much better. They're gonna melt a little bit because I'm not moving fast enough. I'm debating what pan to put them in. I want nice thick ones, so I'm gonna use the smaller pan. and I take the skin of the butter just to grease it up, and then dump this all in. And I'm just gonna spread these out. And then to cover up the mess that I've made with the melted sprinkles and such, I just left it in the pan for too long, fiddling around. I'm going to add even more sprinkles. Makes everything better. Let these cool for a little bit, cut them into squares, and they're gonna be great.
These were actually great and fantastic and delicious and crowd pleasing. I feel like it meets all the requirements for a good food to bring to a gathering or just eat, make a festive little treat for your kiddos. They're gonna be out of school, hype them up full of sugar, send them to a birthday party, whatever you gotta do, right? I just love munching on the, I mean, listen. Who doesn't love a Rice Krispie treat? I've never met anyone in my life who has turned one down or at least not liked them. I mean, come on. And they're extra festive and special because of the sprinkles. And you could make them thicker with a smaller pan. I think that's what I would do next time, or just double the recipe. I like them extra thick.
This next recipe I saw and I knew I had to make it. It's like a healthy version of the Little Debbie's Christmas trees that everyone is obsessed with and loves. I'd rather have an oatmeal pie, not gonna lie. I'd rather have brownies. I'd rather have a lot of other things than this, but it's the holiday season, so it's the law. You have to eat at least one. So I figured if we can make an alternative, healthier version, let's do it. It's also 3 ingredients, so tell me why it took me, I'm not exaggerating, 20 minutes to write this recipe down. I like watched the video 100 times, like slow down. You know, the beginning is just a whole bunch of nonsense, and then the recipe goes like, I'm like, I can't even try to pause it. I'm like, what kind of yogurt does she have? It doesn't matter. So the 3 ingredients are boxed yellow cake mix, some yogurt, obviously like a single serving, but I'm gonna use this because it's open. And then like a protein, vanilla protein drink she used, the core protein. This happened to be buy one, get one free at Publix, so I grabbed it. Jocko Molk, 30 grams of protein in here. So not only is it like less calories and stuff like that, it's gonna be higher in protein, lower on fat, there's no butter, there's no oil. The yogurt is taking care of that kind of stuff. Also no eggs, so if you have an egg allergy, perfect way to do it. With MacroFriendly Foods, she doctors up her cake recipes too, so I've been making it similar to this for years, and you can't, there's no difference. It's delicious. Overall, it's like healthier for you, so why not? So I dumped the box cake in here. I'm going to pour the milk in, and then I'm going to take half a cup of the Greek yogurt and dump that in as well. Give this a mix, and I don't think it's going to give us the same amount. Oh my gosh, was I supposed to dump the whole drink in? See, this is what I don't know. It's a little liquidy. Hers was very, very thick. This is not right. Oh, I did something wrong. I screwed it all up. It's pretty on brand for me, actually. Ooh, I'm so frustrated. Where's my phone? 1 cup. 1 cup. Oh, okay. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? If I had another box cake mix, that would solve my issue. BRB. Well, better than nothing, you guys. I have a white cake mix, and I typically like to keep this around because I make like a coconut cake. Similar to this, actually, but not like this at all. I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of yogurt, just doubling the recipe at this point. I'm so annoyed when I tell you I watched that video a million times. Put it in the caption, guys, even if it's 3 ingredients for idiots like me, appreciate it. Now this looks more like the consistency that she had. Super thick. Okay, now do you see? Like thick, okay? Like pâte à choux. Julia Child who, honestly. Somebody call the Food Network, okay? I'm gonna cover my pan with parchment paper because it's like it's washed. Never be able to tell though. It's just seasoned really well. I have my oven set to 350 degrees and I'm going to cook it for like 20 to 25 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. Toothpick in the middle, comes out clean, you know. Honestly, the cake batter alone, I could eat this. Salmonella, I dare you. Ooh yeah, that's good. Give it a little shimmy and a shake and into the oven to bake. Once this comes out of the oven, let it cool for a little bit. I don't have much patience. And you know, this recipe said it was 3 ingredients. Social media lies, man, full of lies. I gotta tell you what, it's actually 6 ingredients if you wanna top it. It's 3 ingredients for the cake, 3 for the top, and you need, you know, just to make it look like a Little Debbie's. Personally, I've got some buttercream icing in the fridge. I could slather that on top and call it a day. Or if you still want to continue making it macro-friendly, use Cool Whip. I'm actually thinking about doing that. It calls for white vanilla wafer, like melting chocolates, and then some red icing. You can, you know, make it look like the tree, and then the green dusting sprinkles. So I have that. And then I also have a Christmas tree cutter. We're gonna see if these turn out. I feel like, should I let this cool a little bit more? Ooh, you know what? Oh, the perfect little, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Kind of just looks like a triangle. Hold on, let's see if this one looks any better. Oh wait, because like Little Debbie's doesn't have the stump at the bottom, do they? Let's reference, shall we? Okay, they do have the little stump, and it's actually a little bit taller. I used to be a baller. All right, well, I'm gonna try this one, see what it looks like. And then with the scraps, you can just make cake bowls. I'm gonna save those for my kids when my kids get home. They can have fun with that. It's the weekend. I think I overcooked it. Yeah, this looks a lot better than this, don't you think? Kind of. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. To show you comparisons, I feel like this one is the way to go, right? And then I also saw a homemade version where you like cut it in half, put the icing. That's just too many steps for me. The next step would be to cover these in the icing. And I don't know if she dipped them, but like this is a little messy for me. We need a little crumb coat or something. This is supposed to be bright white. This is off-white. This looks less Christmas tree and more, are you okay? Maybe I need a new cookie cutter, but that is not cute. I'm gonna try to dip it. I feel like it's just gonna stick. Let me see. I'm gonna try it with a little bit of metal, see if this makes a difference. No, it's really not. It's really not making a difference.
I don't understand how they can do it on social media, and I get it. They're only doing one recipe per video, so it's like, I don't know, they spend more time, attention, and care on that one singular recipe. But it's like, if I'm making, you know, 16 of these, because I doubled the recipe, I think it makes 12, and then 12 balls if you do one recipe. So really 24 I could have made out of this batch. I made 4. And I will say, after the icing was on, piping the red and sprinkling the green, that was my favorite part. It was fun. It was festive. I loved it. So maybe I need to elicit the help of others to just do the time-consuming and monotonous part for me. And all in all, I think these came out so stinking cute. Did they taste like Little Debbie's? Like, obviously. Come on, give me a break over here. But they were delicious, and I would ask for seconds. So that, I feel like, says something, okay? And they're edible and delicious, and they pack a punch. People are going to be like, oh my gosh, did you buy Little Debbie's? You'll be like, no, I actually make them, thank you.
Oh my word! I came up here to get the cookie cutters out for the next recipe. I really only need the Christmas tree. But look! I get to use my favorite bowl. Oh, this is so perfect. How could I forget about this one? Not that I need it for this recipe, but in future recipes I will. This next one is really simple, 2/3 ingredients. Ooh, I have multiple trees. Okay, never used that one before. Ooh, this is a fancy tree. I have a snowflake. Those could work too. I'm thinking of snowflakes this year. Hold on. I have a sand toy in here. Cool. Christmas tree. All right, I got a lot of options. Okay, well, this is annoying. My daughter hides the Nutella from her siblings because I don't always buy a jar of Nutella, so it's very special. And I can't find it. Okay, I found one. Fun fact, did you know that Nutella, you used to be able to send in, like mail in the gold lids and then get Nutella merch from it? I don't think they do it anymore. It's been several years. But I did it once. I got like Nutella scoopers. I think we got t-shirts. Honestly, I wish I would have gotten everything. But now Etsy exists and you can just get Nutella merch whenever the heck you want. Okay, these I put in the fridge last night, which may have been a problem. I don't know. if puff pastry is allowed. So, okay, here are the 2 ingredients. We got puff pastry, we got Nutella. You can also substitute Nutella for whatever spread you want. If you want jam, if you want pistachio spread, if you want Justin's hazelnut spread, almond paste would be a good one. Is this gonna puff up since it was in the fridge all night? I hope it's okay. We're about to find out. I really just need to reorganize my freezer. It always seems like it's full, but there's like nothing in it. I think it's those bins that just take up so much space. Okay. Oh, I don't think this is looking good. Okay, it's sticky, it's not, okay, we're gonna work with it and it's going to be perfect. So take the puff pastry and then take whatever spread that you like and spread it all over. Make a nice layer of this. Don't skimp out, okay? This would be a great dessert, a great appetizer, a great breakfast, a great afternoon snack, after lunch, after dinner, before dinner, really any time of day. I don't think I would ever turn down a treat like this. Now I just have to take the other sheet and flop it over top. I just wanna make sure it's like spread out enough. Oh boy. Okay, it's actually perfect. Amazing. Okay, now I'm gonna take I actually really like this Christmas tree, it's cute. So I'm gonna do this and just cut out a bunch of Christmas trees. Oh gosh, I should have greased this. Here's a little hack I learned at Cordon Bleu. You just, instead of using flour, and it's kind of hard to grease these, I just use powdered sugar, and that way you won't get that like, you know, bitter flour taste. Even though we're cooking these, so it really, I think, should be fine. Okay, well, here's the tricky part. You know, do as I say, not as I do, because these really should be frozen. These should be frozen sheets. I'm just gonna get as many Christmas trees as I can. I should have put powdered sugar on the bottom is what I should have done, because now they're just sticking to my counter. Even when you mess everything up, there's still a chance that it could be perfect. I don't know how, but I'm gonna transfer these. Oh, cute. Oh no. I'm gonna cook these tidbits as well because they're gonna taste just as good. They're just not gonna look as cute. I'm not even gonna lie, that was painful, okay? I'm gonna take brush the tops of these with a little bit of egg wash. So I just have a whole egg. Some people do just the whites or just the yolks. I don't know. I do the whole egg and I just add a little bit of water to loosen things up a little bit. Ideally, you would like to use a fork or a little whisk to whip it up, but I'm so over it right now. Sprinkle the tops of these very simply. It's gonna give it a nice golden sheen to these puff pastries, if they even puff up. What am I even doing with my life at this point? What a mess. Okay, fingers crossed into the oven, 350 until they're puffed and golden.
Now listen, I did 100 things wrong in this recipe and they still came out great, okay? Definitely put your puff pastry in the freezer. I don't know what I was thinking. I put it in the fridge. I just didn't have room. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. No. It still puffed up. It still tasted great. The Nutella was great. The powdered sugar shower was fantastic. It just hides all the imperfections. They didn't turn out as golden brown, but I also don't think I cooked them at the right temperature. It's like, can I do anything right? No. But even with not doing anything right, they still turned out great.
Next one I'm going to throw together are hot cocoa stirs, and I actually bought this stuff to make them back in October, I'm pretty sure, and I had like fall themed things, but it's very interchangeable. It is very hot where I live, especially still in October, November, and even December. It's still pretty warm most days. But I did get some, you know, festive things to decorate it for the holidays. I have snowman peeps, and I bought Christmas tree peeps. I can't find them anywhere. Of course, I probably put them somewhere special. I just looked everywhere. I'm kind of over it. I think I put them out for a hot cocoa board that we recently had here. Listen, I'm getting bougie with this one. I got Ghirardelli chocolates because it's hot cocoa and we want it to taste really good. We recently spent the day at Disney with just my older kids. And first of all, what a lovely experience. Second of all, when we were eating dinner, I was freezing. I almost bought a sweater, but it was $70 for a sweater. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna freeze on the ferry boat, monorail, whatever we take home, I can endure. But then we went to dinner, which we never do at Disney, but I was like, you know what, let's do it up. Eating dinner, freezing my bum off. So I ordered a hot chocolate. It was the best hot cocoa I've ever had, I think, in my life, rivaling the one I had Thanksgiving Day after I had just had a baby and nearly passed out for like the 4th time. It was so good. I said, what did you put? What kind of mix is this? She said, oh, it's from Joffrey's. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to Google their hot cocoa recipe. So I have a ton of chocolate in the microwave, 30-second increments. I'm gonna stir it in between. I also got this silicone tray off of Amazon. It came in a pack of 2. I think 1 will suffice. I also grabbed some spoons. They have festive spoons now that it's the holidays. The handle looks like, you know, a peppermint stick, red and white. I think they have snowflakes on some of them. These are just plain Jane, it's fine. So I'm going to use some of these. But when I see these hot cocoa stirs at the store, you can also just use sticks. Sometimes they're on sticks, but they're expensive. For like $1 a piece, I want to say. Sometimes more, it depends on where you get them. And I just had milk chocolate and what is that, semi-sweet chocolate. I feel like I did half and half. I also had dark chocolate in there, but come on. My palate could never. Kind of notorious for overheating my chocolate, even in the microwave. A double boiler is always best for me, but I just don't like the effort that it takes, and it takes more time. But it's better than scorching it. And I think this one came out pretty well. Okay, I'm not gonna put it back in. I am gonna take a little taste test. Yep, tastes delicious, just like chocolate. Oh, am I supposed to put some oil in here? Probably not, but this is pretty thick. I'm going to try to carefully fill each square up. Oh my gosh, how did she do it so perfectly without getting any spatters? Nope, not gonna happen for me. It's gonna take me 20 hours, a full work day. Yeah, I already got a spatter. That was like 5 cups of chocolate, and I don't think that's going to be enough to fill this up. I really made a mess. Hers was absolute perfection. Just gonna give it a tip and a tap, level everything out. Maybe I'll clean it up. What's the point? That's some good chocolate, I'll tell you what. All right, shove the spoon in. Oh my gosh, I grabbed exactly the amount of spoons I need. What a miracle. I'm really bummed I can't find the Christmas trees, but I'll get over it. I do have some snowmen. Plop these in here. Cuties. And then my kit came with 2 big gingerbread men. Hold on, are we ready for the gingerbread men? Maybe a couple of Christmas tree. Do we do gingerbread and Christmas tree? I'll tell you one thing, they make it look really effortless. Okay, that looks horrible actually. Good, good, good. I'll do a little marshmallow action. A couple of marshmallows in each one. And then I've got little teddy bears, cutesy little teddy bears and pink flamingos with Santa hats on. Can you see them? It's the worst. Which one do you think I'm gonna go with? The pink flamingos. I regret my decision. The teddy bears are so cute. Look, a reindeer. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Adorable. Save those for something better. Someone's just gonna end up eating them raw. Okay, here they are. Cutesy little hot cocoa stirs. I'm gonna let these sit in the fridge and firm up a bit. Just a heads up, when I put this in the fridge, I needed to put it on something, so I had to put it, so transferring it was fun. Here's the final reveal. Oh yes, it comes out of these silicone molds, nice and easy. Wrap these up in cellophane, or just pop them right on a board. Heat up some milk and throw that in, give it a stir. Oh, these are so cute.
Okay, these are not giving Joffrey's a run for their money, but using the Ghirardelli chocolate chips, like, obviously elevates it, absolutely delicious. Cooking it with milk, again, makes it a little bit more rich and all that good stuff, and honestly, these are so fun and festive. Perfect for, like, you know, little treats if you're handing them out to nieces, nephews, grandkids, or whatever.
Well, I just got off the phone with my Oma after like an hour. So my eggs are nice and room temperature now. I'm going to make meringue trees My kids love meringue cookies, or whatever you want to call them. Are they just meringues? And they're really simple to make. I've made them look, ooh, almost got a yolk. I've made them look like ghosts before for, you know, the Halloween time, but holiday time is the perfect time to make them into Christmas trees, and it's really easy to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Add a little food coloring and bada boom, you got a nice little festive treat here. What are we gonna do with these yolks? I don't know. I'm gonna take my whisk attachment and whisk these egg whites up until they're nice and foamy and white and bubbly. Let her rip. I whipped it a little bit, and now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. I'm gonna whip it until it forms like soft peaks. Okay, I think we're here. This looks like a good soft peak to me, maybe a little bit more, but I don't wanna overdo it. At this point, I'm going to gradually add 1 cup of sugar to this. I'm just gonna drizzle it like so. And then let it form almost stiff peaks. Right before the stiff peak stage, that's still pretty soft. I'm going to add vanilla extract, just a little bit. I don't know if any of that made it in, that's probably way too much. And some green food coloring, a few drops of that. Once they form stiff peaks, it's over. That actually is not a good green color, and I don't know why I'm just now realizing that. So I'm gonna add in some more green food coloring. Mix this together. I don't care. And then I'm going to shove it into a piping bag. And then I have my oven preheating to 200 degrees. And I don't know if I picked the right tip for this. Just gonna do a little dollop. Oh, I screwed that up. What the heck? You need a better angle. Okay, there we go. I'll tell you what, the Christmas trees that they made are so cute. All right, we'll do this, lift it up a little bit, and this, and then give it a little. Oh, much cuter. I used the wrong tip, but I'm gonna just continue on my life. You know what would also be cute? Snowmen, right? Wouldn't that be cute? That looks less like a tree. I feel like I kind of like this one the most now. Huh, what should I do? 1 and a and give it a little squeeze.
Why are these like blue? I'm wondering if I should have added like a dot of black to make the green a little bit darker. Whatever I did or didn't do, they turned out how they turned out. And
all right, good enough. I also have little stars to put on them. I'm gonna cook these. Like, how did I make such a mess? 90 minutes.
One of the videos that I saw, they each had like a gold star on them, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's actually perfect. But if you looked at these, I don't think you would be like, oh, that's a cute little Christmas tree. Like, so what a joke. Also, I don't know how they attach them. I just licked this one and put it on, not gonna lie.
This next one, I'm ill-prepared. I haven't really cleaned up from the last one. Don't forget to hydrate, purifies the soul. I should turn you around because that view is so much better. But I've never done a cook with me from this angle before, and it just feels wrong. But isn't it so much more festive? Anyway, I just washed all these dishes to be able to make this. They're pine cones, or they look like pine cones. It's a pine cone treat. Looks really fun and festive. My sister-in-law made them for Thanksgiving, and I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. I love them so much. She said, they're so time consuming. I only made like 6 or 8, however many she made. Guaranteed I will make less than that. And wouldn't you know it, next thing I know, I'm scrolling, looking for recipes, and this popped up. So I was like, yeah, let me make those. I need to melt some chocolate. I don't know how much, so I'm just gonna melt this much. And I made some brownies for this just from a box. Ghirardelli brownie mix is like the best. It actually works out because tonight is Brownie Friday, and I think I undercooked these. Yeah, these are really fudgy, like a little too fudgy. Whatever, it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. The outside is like overcooked, inside is, I never make them in this pan, that's why I couldn't do it. And then when I cooked the cookies yesterday, I had them on top, so I feel like that just screwed everything up. It's fine. I'm really only going to make a few of these pine cones. Because like, I don't care that much, you know? But I am going to take this and use my paddle attachment just to mush it all together. You guys, I think I screwed up. This looks like the batter. It's wet. It's not good. I'm gonna use it anyway. So you essentially just take a little bit. These are perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? You can also, she had an Oreo base. So this recipe, slightly different. And you just form it into like a cone, if you will, like a pine cone kind of thing. I can definitely feel harder chunks of brownie in here. I'm just gonna take that out. No one wants to eat that. You know, I'm doing them a favor, really. Okay, so into a ball and then a cone. Okay, well I stink at making cones, apparently. Is this what it, this is not it. That looks horrible. How do people make it look so good and easy? I need a reference picture because this is not good. I don't know who has the time or patience for this, but how did she find, she said this is the cereal to buy. Like, how did she find perfectly shaped cereal for the, okay, so you take it, oh gosh, my chocolate isn't even mixed together. Here we go, okay. There we go. Dip it in the chocolate. I'm not really sure why. I guess to get the cereal to stick. And then just shove some, oh, this is a mess. Start at the top and go to the bottom. Don't worry, powdered sugar will fix all of our imperfections. I'm gonna trust the process here because so far, it's not looking good. This might be the worst thing I've ever made. Let's see if powdered sugar will jazz this up. I don't think there's any saving this, just to put that out there, okay? Here we go, little snow shower, little snowstorm here. Like, how do you get it on the sides? This is ridiculous. I hate Instagram. Are you joking? Like, that's a no for me. I'm only doing one. I'm done. I'm done. Ooh. Ah. Wow. I think that's the worst thing I've ever made. And it's like, how do I, her pine cones were actually perfect. I'd rather just eat the brownie. That is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. Hope you got some fun festive recipes today. If you want to stick around, so much more to come. Less like this and more like the good, tried and true cookie recipes and, you know, all the good stuff upcoming for the holiday season. I'll see you around. Bye.